This is the MFS Wellness Podcast. I am Mike Sinopoli. This would be the first episode here of 2026. New Year's hit, already a week in. That means many people are likely starting up some sort of new diet plan, a new training regimen, whatever it is, doing something because the calendar flipped and we're going to overhaul our lives on a 180. Okay, fine. We all know where that can lead, what happens. Not going to get into that. But what I want to do here is create a little bit of awareness. Now, with that mindset of wanting to switch everything up and become a whole new person just because the calendar changed one day, that leads people to do extreme things, stuff that they can't sustain, stuff that's going to damage their health, things that are going to just frustrate them and sink them down into a lower place going in through the year. There's a lot of diets out there that are super restrictive, very rigid, and it's so unnecessary. A lot of them involve buying products that you don't need at all, supplements. We're going to talk about that today in one of these that I have here. And that's the premise of the episode, really, is I have two different diets, essentially. One is a diet plan, actually, that involves some supplementation, very low calorie, a very dangerous one. It was given to me by a client, and they came to me because they said they seemed to think this was ridiculous, wanted me to look at it, and I was baffled. I was absolutely appalled by the fact that something like this can exist. And we're going to get into that here. So that's the first part. And the second part was from another client, showed me a meal plan they were once given. And it is very, let's just say, vague. And that's something that you can't have if you're trying to change your life and learn about food and what's going to happen with the digital food scales, the weights, and everything. We'll just get into that as we go. But I wanted to just let you know that this is not an episode for me to rage and hate, even though that's what's going to happen, because I am actually very upset that these types of diets exist. Whatever legitimacy they even have, who I don't know who wrote them. I know there's lots like these. So this is really just to raise some awareness. Maybe you'll see some of these kinds of things in the diet you want to take on, and you'll remember this, and you'll think, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe that's not normal. Maybe I can do better, and then kind of go forward from there. So, if you're starting something new and it's already starting to suck, you got to give yourself time with any diet, but you can kind of pinpoint what's going to suck. So let's get rid of that. And I don't mean suck by like, hey, I'm just not eating cookies and cake anymore. I just mean like this is starvation, this is unhealthy. Then that's what we're going to go with here. So I'm going to pull it up here on the screen. Let me just get that here for you. And there it is. Okay. I don't know what this diet is called, but it was given to me once. And I looked at it and I wanted to scream. I wanted to yell. I wanted to find the person that created this and recommend that they be incarcerated for a very long time. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go with what was given to me here. So this is what we're going to call, I guess, a losing phase. They're calling this in the diet. So this is a part of the diet where what a normal day, this should never be anyone's normal day, by the way, what a normal day looks like during this losing phase. Okay. So if you see anything of the sort in your diet like this, you might want to rethink it a bit. Just saying. So for breakfast on this normal day, you take a metabolic B boost and then add 10 drops of a metabolic weight loss drops, whatever that means, if applicable, as recommended by your healthcare provider. I'm sorry, but if a healthcare provider sees this and says go with it, you should find a new healthcare provider. That's for sure. And then it says, as directed in your success journal. I don't know what success journal this person has, but they are not demonstrating a lick of success based on this so far. So far, your breakfast includes a couple of pills and 10 drops of weight loss drops. Now, I want you to know something. There's no such thing as weight loss drops or pills or anything, nothing. And if it is, it's probably going to hurt you in the long run. Ozempic. But anyways, I just wanted to let you know that. I mean, unless the drops are actually like, little tiny drops of, sulfuric acid that is actually burning and deteriorating your organs and your tissues inside of you, then yes, you're going to lose some weight because those organs and that tissue in your body that's going to disintegrate from the sulfuric acid is going to lose weight on the scale. I mean, that's once you get out of the hospital, provided you live through that. So that's the only weight loss drops that I can think of. But anyways, you also are allotted 1 cup of coffee or tea. Now, a lot of this shit is 0 to 5 calories or none of that. I mean, I don't understand why you can't have a couple of cups of this, but whatever. They're letting you have a cup of coffee or tea. So congratulations, you're starving so far. And lunch comes around and they want you to take more of the metabolic B boost The metabolic weight loss drops. Again, you're going to put more drugs. Now, there's something called a metabolic detox. And I'll tell you one thing, detox is a red flag word for diets. There's no detox anything. It's a lie. They want you to feel like you're cleansing yourself and you're treating your body like a temple. So they're going to sell you this detox with these juices from the blue zones and something from fucking South Mongolia that you can only find underneath a tree somewhere. And they're going to lie to you about all these kinds of fucking herbs and bullshit that's inside of it, that it's going to regenerate all your cells and you're going to just live till you're like 198. All lies, all crap. Metabolic Pro, whatever that is, metabolic multi, so a multivitamin. So you're going to buy all these pills and these drops and shit. That's the whole premise here. As you can see, that's all you've had so far, and it's lunchtime. But they do let you eat for lunch, and they are very, let me tell you how generous this is. Look at this. 4 to 5 ounces of white tuna, 1.5 to 2 cups of asparagus, and a cup of blueberries. Now, wow. I don't know about you, but if that was my lunch, I probably, I'm probably going to have to just, I don't even know. I can't even say it. I'm getting irritated. I'm not going to lie. I get irritated with this shit. It's so stupid. But that's your lunch. Okay. So you get tuna, asparagus, and blueberries. Look forward to that. All right. And then dinner rolls around. And at this point, your stomach's probably trying to eat itself. You're going to take more metabolic weight loss, more metabolic detox, more metabolic pro, and then another multi with your meal. And in this meal for dinner, you get 4 to 5 ounces of baked chicken breast, 1.5 to 2 cups of steamed broccoli, and a cup of apples. All right. So, as you can see below this, they say activity level is very minimal. They don't want you to do any more than light walking or light weights with this. No strenuous activity or exercise. So, like, that's just silly because we're supposed to be active and moving, and they don't want you to move or eat during this. So, you're going to sit in a chair, take their bullshit pills, their drops, their metabolic pros and bros and bullshit that they want you to keep buying and have with these meals that they think is going to melt fat off of your body when it's really just some bullshit placebo, and all you're doing is actually starving yourself. So, no exercise, guys. Nothing. Just go for a walk and shit. That's it. Okay. Remember, fruits may be eaten separate from meals. Whoa, well, how about that for some flexibility? Because you know what? At lunch, after I've housed down that white tuna, that 5 ounces of white tuna, and that half a cup of asparagus, which I don't know who the fuck is eating cups of asparagus. I mean, they come in spears. I'm not going to chop them and put them in a cup. You just tell me 10 spears. I mean, who cares? There's like no calories in fucking asparagus. It just makes your piss smell. That's all it does. Like, just what is that? So once you've had your asparagus and tuna and you're so fucking full and you're just, oh my God, I can't eat any more of this. And you're just, you can save those blueberries for later. And you're going to be happy you did. And then you're really going to be full and make sure you save that room for that chicken and broccoli for dinner, folks. And then slice up those apples, measure them out in a cup. It's unbelievable to me. This is destructive. All right. And I'll tell you why here, because on this next slide, I've kind of done a little bit of a caloric and protein comparison breakdown, and I took all the measurements in the foods here from that whatever that thing was. I'm kind of glad it's off the screen because it makes me sick. I hope no one's watching this with no sound on because I hope they weren't thinking that I was fucking promoting that bullshit. But it's crap, and like I said, whoever made that diet needs to be incarcerated. They need to go into solitary confinement and eat this diet for 10 years just to see what the fuck they did with themselves. They deteriorate to nothing. It's going to be despicable. So, all right, I'll try to be a little more positive, but it's not positive. It sucks. So caloric and protein comparison here. So that I did the calculations. The total daily caloric intake of that diet is 620 calories for the day. That's a 620 calorie day. Okay. And your protein intake is 84 grams of protein. Okay. That's what you got there. Now, to compare that to show you how ridiculous that actually is, the average female calorie deficit range is 15 to 1700 calories per day. All right. And typically what I'll run for females and males, of course, males caloric deficit being 21 to 2300 on average. Again, this is just on average, give or take. Everybody's different. But realistically, what I'll run first on this is a BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, which is what your body will burn at rest based on your age, your weight, your height, and all of that. So what your body will burn at rest is typically nothing different from 12 to 1300 calories for females. Therefore, you're eating under 700 calories under your BMR, which is unhealthy to do. That's not right. That's criminal. That's not right to do. That will cause illness. It's guaranteed. And then your protein intake, again, 84. Actually, sadly, that's actually 30 grams over the FDA's recommendation for people of 54 grams, which I think is just to sustain life. But if you want your best performance, muscle mass wise, everything, if you want the right amount of protein, females are usually around 120 to 140 grams a day, and men around 190 to 210. Could give or take, again, depending on how active you are, what your goals are, and all of that, and where you're coming from. So, again, don't take those averages as exacts, but it's kind of where it's been with everybody I've worked with, and along with myself. So, as you can see, that is a very, very destructive diet. And I really just, I'm really sad that people actually have to go ahead and and just like fall for this crap. And you're not stupid if you do. I'm sorry, you're not stupid if you do, because we've created such a society of conflicting information. This works, that doesn't. This is going to work, that's not going to work. Nobody has patience. Everyone wants it right now. So what they're doing with this diet, in short, is they're making you buy a product, thinking you're going to be reliant upon these drops, these pills, and all this other stuff. And then the food, they're going to have you in a losing phase of just constantly dropping large, probably amounts of weight because you're starving, until you've depleted your muscle mass because you can't lift, and you become this very smaller version of yourself that you don't like. And once that muscle mass and fat is depleted off of the starvation diet, you go off of it, go back and rage with food on the other end, and you resent the diet, and then you blow back up. You think you've gained it all back when you've done actually worse, because you have not put any of your muscle mass back on, because you clearly didn't learn how to do that. And now you're just at a worse skeletal muscle mass to body fat percent ratio, and this diet has fucked you up and set you back. So that is what has happened here. Now, moving along, that's that diet. Don't do anything like that. And if you ever have questions, call me, text me, message me, whatever you want. I'll give you the contact info at the end of this. But moving along, one time somebody gave me this meal plan. I don't believe this was affiliated with that diet, because you get a little bit more food with this one. But let me tell you something really quick about meal plans. I don't believe they should be so rigid to the fact that every day should be the same. It could be, but you should have some flexibility and track your food a little bit. They can be helpful if you're okay eating the same thing, but every week you should change it. When I do it, that's the bare minimum we do. We're going to say, all right, Monday we set your plan for the week. It's easier on the grocery bill if you like the food. You got to make sure you like the food, and it's got to be clear. There's got to be clarity. It's got to be very clear, because if you make one mistake and you're doing it, you go a whole week and you're not measuring something correctly, or you're using the wrong thing, it's going to fuck everything up. And believe me, so there's got to be clarity and rigidity and all that. And again, there's nothing wrong with the same thing every day, because this meal plan here is pretty different every day a little bit. There's some things that are the same. So, but I'll just go through it and tell you what's wrong with something like this, and why a meal plan that looks so simple to follow is actually probably going to be somewhat destructive for you and frustrating. So looking at here, and I'll do my best to explain it for those that aren't watching. On Monday, they have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack listed out for you. Breakfast is 2 eggs and a slice of bacon. Lunch is 1 piece of grilled chicken and a small green. And then dinner is a burger patty with a slice of cheese and a green vegetable. And then snack, you get a slice of string cheese. Now, I don't know about you, but who's slicing string cheese, man? You pull that shit. I don't eat string cheese like, on the stick. Like, I think that's weird. I think that you have to see therapy if you do that. But I think you should, you string it off nicely and whatever. It's fine. String cheese overrated anyways. But there's so many things here. So let's see. With lunch, it says 1 piece of grilled chicken. Now, what it doesn't tell you is that how much grilled chicken? 4 ounces, 10 ounces? How much of it? Skin on, skin off? What is it? Doesn't say. Small green, fine. You can get away with that. Burger patty, same thing. What's the size of the burger patty? Are you doing one of those big pub patties, a little small ones, extra thin ones? I don't know. And it doesn't, and then a slice of cheese, whatever. So that's what it says. It's very vague, and I can guarantee you that this is also going to be pretty low calorie. Not as bad as the other diet, but this is going to be probably underneath your calories extremely. Tuesday, you get 2 eggs anyway. Make them however you want, because I don't know what difference is between Monday. It just says 2 eggs. The other one says 2 eggs anyway. So what? And then a sausage patty. How big? We don't know. Lunch, you get a tuna salad. All right. Now, here that's all it says. A lunch on Tuesday is a tuna salad. Tuna salads usually can incorporate mayonnaise, So like, how much tuna? Am I going to get like 4 cans of tuna, dump it in a bowl with some lettuce, and can I put like croutons in it or wheat thins or some shit? And how much mayonnaise am I going to roll in there? Now, all of a sudden, you made a 3,000 calorie tuna salad because the meal plan just said tuna salad on it. For dinner, you get a grilled chicken breast. I don't know. Man, who wants to sit down and look at a piece of chicken? Plain, just nothing. There's nothing else with this. You nothing. So you're going to eat grilled chicken breast. Again, it doesn't state if it's skinless or not. There's a lot of fat. It sits in the skin. It's very flavorful. It's good. I mean, you can have it, but you got to account for it. That's it. And they don't tell you here. And then I don't even know what this is. A snack is cheese chips. I've never heard of cheese chips. Is this maybe from another country? I don't know. But cheese chips are not something I've had. Maybe that's Doritos. But I don't know if that should be. That just baffles me. So Wednesday rolls around. You get scrambled eggs. So, but it doesn't say how many eggs to use this time. The other one says 2 eggs. Then it says 2 eggs anyway. Now we just have scrambled eggs. So can I make a dozen eggs now scrambled with a slice of cheese? Is that what I can have? That's what it says. So it doesn't tell me how many eggs. Then we have on Wednesday for lunch, turkey slices with cheese. This is clearly a carb-fearing diet here. Turkey slices with cheese, lettuce, and no bread. So we get lettuce, cheese, and turkey. So it's actually a lettuce wrap. Does not tell you how many turkey slices. Does not tell you how much cheese, nor how much lettuce. Not that anyone ever got fat eating lettuce. I'm fucking sick of lettuce wraps. I mean, just get rid of it. That's one of the dumbest things that's come from this low carb shit. People wrapping shit in lettuce. No one wants to do that. Everything is messy. It seeps through. It's fucking lettuce, man. Shit. Anyways, dinner comes up and you get a pork chop, a steamed broccoli, and another green vegetable. So again, doesn't say how much of that. And then we're back on eggs again, folks. A lot of eggs on this plan. You get a hard-boiled egg as your snack. Imagine that. You're hungry from the shitty diet and you have to go look at the plan. You go to the plan, you go to the fridge and you got to start peeling a hard-boiled egg and that's all you get. You're not going to sleep well. All right. So then Thursday breakfast shows up and we got, wait a second. This is my favorite one. Thursday breakfast. You get an egg, sausages, and cheese sandwich without the bread. It's not a sandwich without the bread, dumbass. So the whole concept of a sandwich is something on bread. So you can't call it a fucking sandwich and then say ditch the bread. You're sausage, eggs, and cheese. That's what you have. You're afraid of carbs. Now, here we go. Then for lunch, you get 2 all-beef hot dogs with mustard and a small green, assuming that does not include the bun because it wasn't listed and they've been afraid of carbs the entire time here. So you get mustard and hot dogs with a small green, whatever a small green might be. Considering you can eat probably a large green and be fine because it's like so minimal calories, but whatever. Just small greens is what you got. All right, dinner on Thursday, we got meatballs baked in tomato sauce. I wonder if they know that that sometimes includes breadcrumbs, which has carbs. So does sauce. Get a little carbohydrates here, maybe. So meatballs and tomato sauce. So how many meatballs do I get? Because after this week so far, about, I don't know, 68, 70 might be around what I need to actually fill the rage in my gut. So you don't tell me how many meatballs. Therefore, according to your meal plan, I can have as many as I'd like, which means I'm going to go to town here. That's all right, because if I don't eat enough, I get a snack later of a boiled egg and a cheese stick. Thank you. And we're going to kind of continue that here. Now you get into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The weekend comes. It's time to party for the weekend. So you're going to start Friday up with 2 hard-boiled eggs and a slice of bacon, grilled chicken and a small green, a tuna salad's back, and string cheese. So it's just kind of repeating a bunch of shit from the earlier one back here. I won't go into each one because we've made fun of these already. Saturday really tickles my balls. Okay. So you get eggs with ham and cheese for breakfast, more eggs. You're eating a lot of eggs, like I said. And I think this is my favorite, most unbelievably jaw-droppingly stupid entry I've ever seen on a meal plan in the history of my 42 years on this planet. And for lunch, you can have a low-carb pizza. Now, what the hell is a low-carb pizza at this point? I don't know, but according to this, it's probably just a big sausage patty with cheese on top of it. That's a low-carb pizza. There's no such thing as a low-carb pizza because it involves crust. That's what pizza is. And fuck your cauliflower shit, too, because that stuff's got a bunch of carbs, and they use a whole bunch of crap. And the cauliflower getting involved in all this stuff is ridiculous. I wish cauliflower would stay the fuck out of shit, even out of those vegetable trays, because it stinks. Not good. The only thing you can do with cauliflower is maybe air fry a little bit, season it up, and it'll be fine. But other than that, get out of my pizza, get out of my pasta. I don't want this fucking cauliflower shit anywhere because that's what I'm assuming they're going with here. And it's actually higher carb than you can imagine too. When you start to look at the two and you compare them, I've done it before. Two frozen pizzas, one's cauliflower based, the other one's regular, and the cauliflower one was actually a little bit more calories and carbs. It was ridiculous. So I don't know what a low carb pizza is. I don't know what size to get. Is it an 8-inch personal? Do I get a jumbo 24-inch low carb pizza? Tell me. Help. Help. It's Saturday. So Saturday night, we rolls around and it's time to get wild with grilled steak and green beans. Again, we don't say what type of steak, what cut. We don't know the different steaks have different fat to protein ratios based on the leanness. So we don't know which one to get. You just tell me to grill some steak and put green beans with it. All right. And boy, Saturday night, baby, look out because our snack is fucking celery. And I don't understand who the hell in the right mind said, yeah, I don't know, just put celery on the plan. Celery, dude. No one goes for celery when they need it for hunger. Like it's literally like not even a food on its own. Like the most you can do with it is put it in some ranch, maybe. And I know damn well 85% of you people out there that get wings at a restaurant or something that comes with the celery and the carrots, you're not eating that shit. That just gets thrown away. You know how much celery like Buffalo Wild Wings must throw in the garbage? It must be obscene. Just get rid of it. We don't need it. All right. Sunday, fun day. More eggs, more bacon. And then you get another one of those classic turkey wraps, but I think you can add mayo because it's Sunday. Turkey lettuce wraps. I don't know what this means. For dinner on Sunday, you get a roast green salad. So I don't know what a roast green salad is. But we're going to figure that out. And we don't know how much of it or what's in it. So I guess we're free to go and whatever we want. So I guess a roast green salad, is just, I don't know, chocolate cake with chocolate chips on top and vanilla frosting. I don't fucking know. And last but not least, you get more eggs, deviled eggs Sunday for the snack. Deviled eggs. How many deviled eggs? Going back to the meatball theory, I don't know, 2,000 after all this? I can eat 2,000 deviled eggs. You know those things have crack in them. I mean, you're not going to win two. Fuck that. Nobody's doing that. So, anyways, these are just a few things to look at when you're going to take on a diet plan from somebody. I don't give meal plans. I'm going to get this off here so people don't think I'm fucking with this shit because this is piddly garbage. So, when I do a meal plan for somebody, like I said before, it's going to be detailed. Your input is in there. There's going to be substitution ideas. We're going to have the cooked amount of stuff versus raw so you don't get confused. Everything's going to have something on there. And you're not going to be on a meal plan your whole life. Okay. Some people just shun them all together. But the way I've been doing them for people has been helpful. It's more of a safety net type thing. You can do a hybrid where you will have a meal plan as like your go-to. And then, you can track and have some different things as the week goes on. And that's the best way to learn. But I mean, the meal plan itself is more of a process type thing than a goal orientated one, because what you learn when you're on a meal plan is the measurements, the weights, how much have you been using of that olive oil, how much cheese have you been putting into that salad. That's the kind of stuff that you'll learn. You don't need any products like that first one showed. You don't need any of that shit. No drops. There's no fat burning medicines. There's nothing. Ozempic sucks. And there's just none of that because you don't know what you're putting in your body. Like none of this stuff isn't tested. And there's going to be things that come up in lawsuits in the future. You don't know where this is. It's not tested. Well, hey, look at that. It's melting fat off Ozempic. And it's just 10 years from now, you're in the hospital and there's lawyers at your hospital door. The Ozempic lawyers, they'll call them. That's what I think is going to happen personally. But whatever. It's just because it's abused. I understand there's hormonal things about it. So don't yell at me. So if you want to ever talk to me or work with me, and get a real meal plan and plan in place for you, especially specifically customed to you, individualized for you, nobody else, then here's my contact info. It's email mike@mfswellness.com. Social media, mainly Facebook and Instagram at MFS Wellness. I have a website if you want to check it out. It's mfswellness.com, and I've got some results on there that you can see, and some testimonials and all that good shit. So check it out if you'd like. You can also put a request in for me to call you or email you through that site. So this is this was just one I wanted to put out there because I felt like a lot of people this time of year have taken on something that is unsustainable, destructive, like what we just went through, confusing, lazy. I'm sorry, even if you have a great trainer that just gives you a meal plan that just it's a meal plan from a sample of there's a bunch of bland ass food. The worst thing you can do is give someone that because unless they're in like a bodybuilding competition or something, because what we really want to do is never have to go on a diet again. So you want to learn how to eat day in day out for the rest of your life, not just for this phase, not this losing phase. You don't want that. You want to find a way to eat so that you don't ever have to set a New Year's resolution to go on some wild shit. Figure it out what works for you, what you like, and then you start to all of a sudden you're like, oh, this meal was good, that meal was great, I like that. Now you're like just putting together a bunch of shit, higher protein deals and things like that. Figuring out how to get that protein into that calorie range that you need to be at. So that's what we do. That's how it goes. There's no failure. Even if you've done these diets before, don't feel stupid. I've done dumb diets before myself, trying to I didn't even have a target. I was just going as low as I could and seeing what happened and hope the weight came off. And don't ever feel bad just because I went through this a little humorously and laughed at it. It is a joke. These are jokes. These are destructive ways to help help people help. You're not helping. So, like I said, I mean, some jail time probably good for these people for putting this kind of shit out there, but whatever. They probably won't go to jail. They probably should. I shouldn't. But anyways, who knows? So that's that. There's the contact info. I really appreciate everybody who listens to me or watches me now and looks at my face while I do this. It's means a lot. The feedback I get, it really does. I mean, I can't stress that enough because like you're taking time out of your day to listen to me or watch me. There's nothing more than somebody's time that you can ask for them. So my New Year's like gratitude thing is just for anyone who has subscribed, listened, shared this, been on it, feedback, everything. So I'll be back with more. We got some fun stuff coming up. Gonna get into some relationship style things. Have some guests lined up to come on here. Can have some more fun with this. If you have any ideas for the show, want to be on it, you just let me know. Contact info is all the same. So until we come back with one of those, have a great new year and happy 2026.